Hey Tony, it's Saturday. Unfortunately, it's like 12:05 or so. Unfortunately, I meant to make this earlier today, but as soon as I got home, we had to end up going out. We had to assist my coworker and look after her pet for a little bit, and then I got home, had to do some chores, ended up eating, and ended up getting wrapped up in our weekly Among Us game. So next thing I knew, it was a little after midnight. So I apologize. It's going on a little late. So second off, to answer your question of the week, Tony, I think one of the stories I never really got to complete as far as the Mask game was Casey's story with Sentinel and Aegis. Since Casey changed to Kotek halfway through, that was a story I had ideas for to kind of like go with, some discussions on the toxicity of like an organization like Aegis, but that never happened because Casey was like, I feel like I should play a different character, and I was totally supportive of that. So this week was overall really, really good. Of course, I've talked to you a couple times this week. Sorry you missed session yesterday, because session yesterday was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
In which Stoats hid like the brave and glorious fool he is, and Theo almost died.
That was the pinnacle of the session.
Was Theo almost dying?
Of us debating if we should throw Theo's dead body off a cliff.
Yeah. But no, it turned out pretty well. Otherwise, like I said, there's a lot of good news this week that I already told you about. And this weekend is actually going to be kind of interesting. So we have a nor'easter coming in, and it's not a little bit today. We're supposed to get anywhere between like 8 inches and 2 feet of snow. And no one's quite sure which one it's going to be.
Depends on who you ask.
It depends on who you ask, depends on like where you get your information, but it's gonna be a lot of snow, and we have to take another trip down to Hartford tomorrow to check on my friend's pet again tomorrow. So that's gonna be interesting to drive in that snowstorm. Well, not a snowstorm. Ideally, by that point, it should be fairly clear. That's kind of what we're hoping for. And then Sunday we have our pirate game for the first time in a little bit because COVID was a thing, so we missed that. Otherwise, next week's going to be fairly busy for me personally. I'm going to be in court a couple times next week. I have a call on Monday along with a status conference, with a case that's going wonderfully, actually. It's a child protection case, and I was actually really lucky, and the child protection case that I was given was actually the person who... my client ended up being the assistant attorney general who was working on the case as well. Was like, she's one of my favorite clients I've ever worked with. I've been doing this for 20 some years, so I was like, oh, that's a really good start for my first child protection case. And I have 2 others that are a little bit more difficult and a little wild, but that hopefully will go the way I want them to. Otherwise, like the next couple weeks, I have a big paper project I need to do at work called an amended petition, which is basically like the amended petition as far as habeases go is one of the most important parts, because it's basically like, okay, here are the claims we're going to raise, here's what we're going to argue, and here's what we give to the court to basically say this is why my client deserves to get a new trial. And I got one file on Monday, but it was supposed to get filed a couple weeks ago because I was just sick, unfortunately. So I didn't get the chance to file it when I wanted to because I was out for 2 weeks. And otherwise, I'll be spending a lot of time in court. I'm in court on Monday. I have a virtual hearing Monday, an in-person hearing on Tuesday, an in-person hearing on Wednesday, and a virtual hearing on Friday. So it's gonna be a wild week, but should be all right. All in all, I'm hopeful. My trials currently are not going forward, which I'm kind of okay with because there's a lot I gotta do on those. And I actually do have to I have to take a trip down a good little ways to do a little more research for this one case, which should be great because it's billable, but at the same point I have to drive a really far distance for that. But the jobs we take, right? But otherwise, next week should be pretty busy, and obviously this week was pretty great, pretty good news, pretty eventful the whole time. But otherwise, that's pretty much all I have. I don't really have much I wanted to talk about. I didn't really have like a big topic for this video. Just kind of an update, and the fact that I really need to shave. I've been meaning to shave for like 4 weeks, but 2 of those weeks I had COVID, and one of those weeks I was helping my spouses who had COVID. So it just kind of I haven't had a chance to really shave, but I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow during the snowstorm. So Tony, my question for you is, do you have any big busy weeks coming up? Tony, I'll see you on Tuesday. Later, bro.